DemocracyNow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. David K. Johnston, our guest, commenting on the, well, did he call it a fact-free zone last night in the debate in Nashville, Tennessee? Former investigative journalist for The Times won a Pulitzer Prize for his coverage of the tax system. Your response to their analysis and their positions?
Meaningless marginalism and economic fantasy that Lewis Carroll, had he been an economist, could have written. The fact is that we have a government, we were promised in 1980 by Ronald Reagan, elect me and I'll get you very quickly to balanced budgets. Instead, we have 4 times the amount of government debt that we had back in 1980. The taxes that Americans have paid in advance for Social Security benefits in the future were spent principally to finance tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans. Right now, with the bailout in effect next year, all of the equivalent of all the income taxes that you pay in January, February, March, April, and a good hunk of May just go to pay interest on the national debt. You know, and that money goes to China, foreign sovereign funds, wealthy individuals, insurance companies. It is a transfer from working people to those who are already wealthy. The idea that we can cut our way out of this is just absurd. And let me give you a little example of this, Amy. I spent 6 weeks in Europe this year talking to ordinary people in 12 countries, rural Slovakia, Scandinavia, elsewhere, and about their economics and their finances. In Sweden, you're 3 times more likely to own a boat than you are in America. You're much more likely to own a home free and cleared. In fact, I walked up to a gaggle of bus drivers in Stockholm, and it turned out every one of them owned 2 houses, a city house or apartment and a country home, and every one of them owned them free and clear. What are the odds in the American economy that you could find a dozen bus drivers anywhere who owned 1 house free and clear? There's a fundamental flaw in the economic theory that we have been operating on for years, and that theory doesn't address that it matters what you spend your tax dollars on. We are not spending our tax dollars on greasing the wheels of commerce, building a stable society, educating people, and removing the shocks from things like accidents and disease. We are spending it on income transfers to the rich, on war, on interest on the national debt. And it's impoverishing us steadily. Neither one of these presidential candidates is addressing the need for fundamental reform to build a sound economy that will take us into the future.
Here's a question from last night's moderator, Tom Brokaw of NBC.